Welcome back, Intro to Engineering. We are now on Activity 5.2b, Introduction to CAD Modeling Skills. So we're going to go over Inventor. We're not going to do everything within this activity though, so let's just go over quickly what we are going to do. So skip 1, you are going to do 2, that is creating the passenger body, and to find that, that would be underneath here, AutoBlocks T9 dimension drawings. Click on that. That is the passenger section that you will create. Okay. Going back. And then after you are done with that, you are going to create the windshield for the AutoBlocks vehicle. Keep on going down. You are then going to create the structural part as structural angle part as described below. This item here. And you're going to do it so that you can fillet it. And then you're going to go back and chamfer it. A screenshot of each would be fine. And then you are also, you've already done the passenger base, so you don't need to do this again. Okay. Don't worry about this part. And then AutoBlocks wheel. Okay, we're going to do the wheel. And that is it. Okay. So don't worry about the other items. We're just going to do those. If you want to work on other things, you can afterwards, but I'm going to get you through the first parts, and we will see from there. So to start, I actually have the dimensions pulled up on another computer next to me, so I'm going to zoom in on those. Okay, that's a terrible design. Alright, so let's start with creating our passenger block. Okay. For question 2, ignore these instructions and we're just going to go straight to here, the T9 dimension drawings. And nope, that's the wrong part. We're going to go here. Alright, so to start, I would recommend we sketch this surface here and then we extrude it this way. So we are going to have a rectangle that is 3.16 by 1.52. So let's start by doing that. So starting a new sketch, and that is going to be 3.16 and I believe the next one was 1.52, but let us double check that real quick. 3.16, 1.52. Okay, next it tells us that all of these corners, there are 4 of them, and each have a radius of 0.3. So let's do that. Back to Inventor, and that is called a fillet. So we're going to go and fillet that, and the fillet is going to be a 0.3. Okay, and then we just go corner to corner, like that. And then we're done filleting. So that's going to finish that sketch. And then we're going to extrude it. And we're going to go the opposite direction. From there, we are going to extrude it a distance of 3.16. Excuse me. What in the world? Double click on the extrusion. I only want 3, so 3.16. Alright, so now it is 3.16. And that is the general shape of it. Now let's go ahead and cut this part out. We're going to cut in. Let's do that. So we're going to start again by doing a new sketch, but on this surface. That is going to be a hole. We're going to just do a rectangle again. But now, based off the dimensions here, it is 2.4 by 0.93. Okay. So 2.4 Okay, and 0.93. And then if we want to know how far back it is from here, from this edge to there is 0.39. Okay, and we can figure out this edge here, right? That shouldn't be an issue. So let's go ahead and do that. Where are we at? Okay. 0.39. So from here to here is 0.39. And if this is 0.93, this is 1.52, these should be evenly spaced. Okay, so we can figure that out. And that's through doing some simple math. That would be 1.52 minus, right? 1.52 minus 0.93, and you're left with 0.59. So we're going to do 0.59 divided by 2 for one of the sides. So we'll dimension this right here. So I'm running issues with this, and you'll see this sometime, right? Either you just keep on clicking back, but if you hold your mouse over it, you will get different options, so you could have different edges that you're intending on touching. So this would be 0.59 divided by 2. Okay, then this should be the same. Boom. There you go. You don't need to mention it because it's going to be. Alright, so our next part is that the fillet is supposed to be 4 of them at a radius of 0.2. So let's go ahead and do that. Fillet, the radius would be 0.2. Whoa. That would be for those surfaces. And that's done filleting. And then let's just go back here and double check to make sure we're good. I'm pretty sure it said something about shelling. We're going to scroll down to our passenger base down here. Model the passenger base here. Choose the version. The shell function allows the user to an appropriate thickness. It doesn't tell us what thickness it is supposed to be. Alright. So then I would argue that the appropriate thickness would be based off of here. So if we go back to here, okay, this is a thickness of 0.57, so I'm going to suggest that we do that shell of 0.57. So let's go ahead and do that. So how we do that is up here we're going to click on well, actually, let's cut in first. And that might be better. Let's see what happens. Where's shell? So we're going to finish the sketch. We're going to click on shell. And this would be a shell of 0.57. And I don't think that is the right. So let's not worry about shelling. see the use in it here. So we're going to do a reverse extrusion. Now how we determine that is how far back does this need to go. So this here is a thickness of 0.57, okay? But how far back does the actual extrusion go? That would be 0.81 plus 1.59, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. And it's going to be 1.59 plus 0.81. Now you don't have to do the math yourself. Let Inventor do the math for you. So we're going to do a cut, and that is going to be 0.81 plus 1.59. 0.81 and then plus sign. And there's 1.59. And then it'll go back the appropriate amount of distance. So there we have that. Okay. Next, this hole is going to go down that much. So we would do a new sketch on that surface. Okay. So let's go and do that. We're going to draw a new sketch on this surface here. We've got a rectangle. And we're going to go off. All the radiuses are 0.2. This is 1.98 by 1.59. .59, 1.98, and then from the sides we have 0.81 there, and then we can figure out this one. So we got 0.81, yeah, 0.81. Where's the Inventor? There. From there to there, oops, there to there is 0.81. And we can figure out the dimensions here by, once again, doing some math. The overall width is 3.16, this hole is 1.98. So we get 3.16 minus 1.98, and you get 1.18 left. So that would be 1.18 divided by 2 for one of the sides. So from here to here would be 1.18 divided by 2. And now this is equally the same distance. And then we're going to do fillets again of 0.2. So and that would be done there. And from there, we will extrude that down I think that says 0.7, might say 9.7. It does say 1.07. Okay, so this is 1.07. So let's take a look at that 1.07. So finish the extrude. 1.07. Okay, so that doesn't quite look right, doesn't it? So we may have some minor modifications we need to do. What I would recommend is watch this. Let's go back to our original sketch. Okay. Not that one, this extrusion. We're going to double click on that. and instead we're only going to go 0.57 back. Okay, that's not enough either, right? So we need enough to cut through to that surface, right? So what that means is we need to cut a hole that then fits that. Was it 0.57? It was 0.57. Okay. And that should be it. This does not go all the way through. Little plug goes there. So that's it for that. Where's it? Where do I? Nope, that's not it. Okay. So this is our object. That's done. Okay. So I think that's it for the passenger base. You would then go up to File, save as the passenger base, and then we're done with the passenger base. The next part is going to be on the windshield. So we'll go over that windshield, and then the rest will be on your own. Okay, so let's go over the windshield. Here's our dimensions, and we're going to go ahead and make that sketch. So I'm going to exit out of this. Make sure you save your part. Okay, undo new part, new sketch. Okay, so I got the windshield. I have that dimension as 3.04. Okay. Our next one is, this is a arc with a radius of 6, but we don't know the height. Okay, but we do know that it's 2.550. Right, we're going to start those, but then we're going to delete them. Otherwise, you'll have conflicting constraints. So we're going to get that to the point where it needs to be to start, but we'll get rid of those two. So let's go and do that. A radius of 6. Excuse me. So a radius of 6, and it's going to have a height of 1 and a width of 2.55. So let's do the 2.55 first. And a height of 1. Alright. So there's that one. And next is this here. This is also a radius of 6 with a height of 0.640. So let's go ahead and do that. A arc with the radius of 6. Okay, and a height of, I think it was 0.40, but we'll look that up real quick. 0.640. That's pretty darn close. 0.640. And that has a 1 of 6. Okay. Then we have another arc that's 0.40, and those will have to be tangent. So first, this is going to be horizontal, that's going to be tangent, that's going to be tangent, this will become 0.4. So we're going to delete these constraints here. Not yet though. We're going to do our last arc here. And we're going to make this one a 0.4. And we're going to make this tangent to there. and that tangent to there. Okay. And there we go. I'll delete that. There's our part. That's the windshield. Okay. So nothing crazy. Easy peasy. Alright, so once we're done with that, you could also watch this video that will help you guide you through that. We're going to extrude that 2.55. So let's go ahead and do that. Extrude, or do. Okay, so we've extruded at 2.55. Next, we're going to add a fillet of 0.125 and go from there. Continue working to a radius of 0.5. I think this got mixed up. The windshield edges are 0.5. So let's go and do a fillet. 0.5, that would be there. That might not be right. Maybe it's 0.125. There we go. Maybe. Nope, that's not right. So it is 0.5. So let's do this fillet. Where'd it go? There it is. 0.5. Create fillet. That should work. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to our sketch because something didn't line up the way it should have. So we can go back here, double click. Okay. I'm going to make this and delete that. Let's try this again. There we go. You have to delete that constraint. Finish the sketch. So now let's try that fillet. Now it's a solid object, so it makes a huge difference. Okay, if it's not a solid object, it's not going to work. Where'd fillet go again? All right. So we have a fillet of 0.5. Okay, and now there's our object. So it's looking much closer to what it was supposed to be. So we got that down. Next, we're going to shell it. We're not there yet. Let's go up to our sketches here because we may need to look in that. The windshield. So now we're looking here. So now let's do this part. The shell thickness is going to be .094. So we're going to shell that from the bottom. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to do shell. Where's that at? Shell. From the bottom, I'm going to do 0.094. So that is now shelled. And we're going to do a new sketch now to add this part here. Okay, the part that goes down into it. And we're not going to get down to this, so don't worry about those. We're just going to create this object part here. So let's start with a rectangle. We're going to create a sketch based off of this surface here. And what I want to do is, how do you know how far back you need to create your sketch? Now, you can click and then drag from a surface. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to start from the bottom, and then when we do an extrude, we can extrude it to the next surface, because it's not going to be evenly extruded, because this side is going to extrude till it hits the windshield here, and this side's going to extrude from here. So our sketch is going to start 0.670 inches from the bottom of that windshield. So let's go ahead and do that. So that would be 0.670 inches. And as you can see, our sketch is 0.670 below that. So we're going to start there on that. Oops. So we're on this sketch. I'm going to just start with my basic rectangle. And then I'm going to go ahead and dimension that appropriately. So 2.260 minus 0.290. Okay. 2.260 minus 0.290. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. 2.260 minus 0.290, and you get 1.97. So this square is 1.97 long. Okay. From here to here. 1.97. Okay, so it is not currently fitting in the object, so we're going to move the box there, and now we go back here, and that surface is 0.290 from the edge. So let's go ahead and dimension that way. So that should be 0.290. Okay, and that would be the same from this side. 0.290. Okay. Next, we need how far it is from here to here. So that is 0.675 edge to edge. .675. Where's that at? Okay. We're going to drag this that way first. This is going to be oops. What? .675. There we go. 0.675. And then the overall width of it is 2.215 minus 0.675. 2.215 minus 0.675. And you get 1.54. So from here to here is 1.54. And now we can add in our other dimensions here. So these have a round, that's a 0.5. I think those are 0.2. It doesn't exactly tell us. It could be a little better at that, but I'm going to say it's the same thickness as the outside here, and that radius is going to follow the same. So let's do a 0.2 radius for the purpose of this assignment. Excuse me. So we're going to fillet that 0.2, not 0.125, do 0.2. Okie dokie. Now we're going to do 0.2. There we go. Okay. So those are filleted now. Now, here's the thing that we can do. Okay. We need this to have a thickness. Okay. And the thickness of that is going to be 0.05. So how do we determine that? Well, here's an easier way. Instead of going through and drawing this all again, we're going to do what's called project geometry. Okay. Not project geometry, my bad. We're going to offset. So we can click that and drag it in like that. And it's going to bring that in. And then we can dimension this one to be a thickness of 0.05. So now that is there. And we can extrude that. We're not going to get into the fine details of this and those little pegs. Okay, I just want to get a general idea here for you guys. So we're going to do an extrude now. So finish the sketch, extrude, and we're going to extrude that surface, and we're going to go the opposite direction. Now, here's the thing. Right now we have it selected as distance. You can have two next. So what it's going to do, it's going to extrude it till it touches the next surface. So I go ahead and click OK, and that is there. That's the windshield. Okay, and I could actually change the type of the surface and make it see-through, but there's your windshield for the most part. So with that, like I said, I'm not doing the whole assignment with you. That gets you through the first two, and now you have this. You'll do a fillet edge, you'll do a chamfer edge, and you will do the wheel at the bottom. Okay. So once you're done with that, or if you get to the part where you're just stuck, talk to your other classmates, talk to the teacher, make sure you go through that, and then email me if you have any questions. If I have the ability to get back to you, I will. But that's it for 5.2b. Once again, if you have questions, reach out to your classmates. And with that, have a good day and good luck.